Well, hello my friends. Furtado here, the Rebel Turner. My hopes were to go on here, find a piece of hardwood that was dry that I could use up. But on my search, I came up and changed my mind. This little piece of ficus, and it's like, why, this is very different from what I thought I was going to be doing. Well, but I liked this piece of ficus because of this growth that was wrapping around it. It's got a cut mark over here, I'm not too keen on it, and a broken off twig that came off here, but I think it will make a nice decorative little vase. Let's get started. It's going to be short. It's only 7 inches tall, maybe. Well, being away for a while, you don't know where certain things end up. Like tape measures. These things walk as much as pencils do. It's 6 inches by 4.5 roughly. So, let's get started real quick. You know the drill. It's routine. It's what I do all the time is get more or less the center of what I want it to be the center, tap it in, bring life center in, and start creating. Plenty of pressure. If your tailstock doesn't go, which mine doesn't have that much of a travel, so it starts jumping. I think that's 2.25 inches. So, yeah, my lathe does not offer me a long travel. It's only a 12-inch lathe, and I turn 16-inch pieces, 17-inch pieces on it because of the riser blocks that I put on this lathe. So, first thing, of course, is kind of just rough this down a little bit, create a tenon, so I can put it on my chuck and then see what it's going to do from the top end, capturing maybe some of this. It should make for a little bit of an interesting piece. So I'm going to start it up, probably roughing gouge. You know, I don't say that any one particular tool has to be the tool that you gotta use. It has an edge, and it cuts. That's the tool to use. But this is also spindle turning, so speed is going at 800 RPMs. It's a little wobbly. Bottom is going to fly. And that's good enough for a tenon. You know, you don't have to get super fancy when you're doing just a tenon. A tenon is a section to grab for you to be able to grab. You want to make it fancy? By all means, make it as fancy as you like. But I don't waste no time making it such. I make it where it's going to grip. The rule I follow is creating a little bit of a bevel, and the rest is all on its own. You know, you can tell when the speed is scary. So go accordingly. If you feel scared by the speed you're turning, slow it down. Now you saw what I was just doing in there. I was going in here with pretty much the tip, my back of my tool, my handle, way towards the back. And the reason why I was doing that is because I was trying to just get as much of this out without having a large surface making contact. And then I would go in here and I would shear scrape back and forth, which makes it a safe cut. But not as clean of a cut either way. That's not the best possible cut, but that will get you down where you need to be pretty quick. Well, I wasn't able to go in there deep enough with my drill bit, so it's time that I go in there one more time and finalize the depthness of my drilling. And basically, just go in there with a shear scrape, in and out. Don't even lift your tool or separate it and come back in. Go scraping in as well as out. That way you keep the same profile. You know it's cutting, you know you're safe, you know you're making the right contact. Follow the profile. I know I'm reaching in there a little bit deeper than what's recommended, but I'm not doing that of an aggressive cut on it that I'm worried about it. But if I can reach in there a little bit with my tool rest, that will make life a little bit easier. Now I gotta keep my handle up a little bit higher because I'm past the center point on this. So So I just want to go and capture this edge a little bit more, and I'm done with the profile. It will take some of this off, capture in here, and leave this twig. I'm not so sure about this twig. There's a little separation here, but I want to go a little deeper. I'm just going to flare out the top. And I think on the bottom, on this side, I think I'm gonna hit it with, it might shape this twig a little bit, but the danger of that is that it could do a catch and it go fly off. But I want this twig to go in the shape that the top is going in. Always trust the back of your bevel to be riding a little bit, and it will guide you. Don't be with your tip if you're trying to get a plain cut and without all kinds of tool marks. I want to go in here a little bit closer still. So, missing bark, CA, sawdust, don't pack it in for if it's imitating his bark. Only pack in if you're trying to get a good wood finish on the wood. For bark effect, just loosely placed. Bark effect. Very loosely. So this is about imitating bark. Put it on, lightly blow out the excess, and dab it with CA. It will stay a little jagged, and that's what you're looking for. I want a little bit here. And there it is. the whole thing is crusted with chips, with sawdust, and therefore I can go in here, just sand that down with 80 grit to get rid of some of its roughness, or pass the gouge on it again. But I don't want to hit this, and that will give me all this effect that I just worked on. This, because I cannot buff all the edges on this, I'm going to finish this off with shellac. Spray on shellac. There we go. Nice finish, nice coloring on this. This piece, even though I didn't show off as much as I wanted to, gives me all the nice effects that I wanted out of the top. I would have loved to have seen this curve coming down the way it was, but you know, we gotta work with what we got, and I knew it was iffy right from the beginning, but still I love what it gave me here, and that's what we shoot for. We look for unevenness and the natural edge of the beauty of the wood that's going to show off for you. And if you can achieve a nice cut, a nice uniform finish, then you're way ahead of the game. Well, it's time to kind of take it off the lathe. Just wait a couple of minutes, let it dry up, flip it over, and then I'll show you the final product. And the flipping over is what I always do. I will put it on my cone-shaped jam, chuck type thing, protected with a little bit of paper towel. And go in there, take out the foot, spray it again, and good to go. Well, I'm back. This has had some time. I went inside for a while and let this dry up. It's nice and dry. I decided to show you the removal of the foot on this, in case you haven't seen, but it's typical on how I do most of my pieces. I just jam chuck it. So I see which jam chuck fits the best, and this generally fits just about anything that I got. So it wiggles, but that's not a problem. And this, I have it with two different size tendons. I can fit my small grip jaws or my 100 millimeters. Don't have to tighten it up super tight, and protect it with a little bit of paper towel. Nice fit, always centers itself, so I don't have to worry about wiggle. All I do is hit my center point with my live center. go in there with whatever tool suits me at the time. Can do it with a parting tool, can do it with a skew, can do it with your gouge. It really doesn't matter. But whatever gives me the finest point. I like using the skew with the long point down and create a little bit of a concave. You start seeing wobble, stop your lathe. You might be losing your piece on the bottom. So don't be stubborn with it. A little decorative piece. Not really a tall vase per se, because the piece started off as fairly short. But I think it will have a place for display. Now, gotta admit, it does have a little bit of interest. What do you use it for? I don't know, but imagination is what drives the rest of the piece as to what its purpose is for, and not necessarily, oh, it's got to be for this, or it's got to be for that. Well, it's a decorative piece. So it shows, I think, a little bit of art. And there it is. A piece of ficus. Not as much spalting as I thought it would have. But this effect going through with the bark, going all the way across, the made up pieces of bark that were made up early on, just takes it away from the wood, from being just the wood in itself. So, is it part of the piece? You bet it is. And the fact that this came off early on, this flake, you don't see any sign of it by adding a little bit of sawdust, rubbing it in. You don't know if that was a line where it was seamed or not. It's a piece of the wood itself. As long as you use the same wood that you cut off from it, you always get a good results. There's the inside, the base, and it's ready for the display. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again.